today.
Let's talk about today.
Ravenna National state level, you have to run non-sale, it's wholesale.
Is like 9,000.
The only mistake I made, I didn't put it right in the registration booth with the
Just this ever-evolving story.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Let's Grow Pulling Live. Jason Schultz here with Kenzie Teeting. Logan Stevens, our co-host tonight. Mike is still on vacation. He has that teacher life, you know, Kenzie.
Yeah.
That's a rough life.
It is.
We are joined by the Mason Elsing, most famously known by their Pro Stock, the only New Holland Pro Stock in the freaking world as far as I'm concerned. Definitely in the USA. Him and his brother also campaigned the Thunder Clutch 4.1 Limited Pro, and they're kind of a big deal on YouTube now as well with the new generation? What is it? What is it, Mason, your YouTube channel?
New Age Custom Farming.
New Age Custom Farming. Look them up on YouTube. They have a blast. Emily and his brother, it's his future sister-in-law, and his brother Avery, they have a good time. I've known the Elsings for a long time. We were proud to live stream the Spring Fling that Mason helps promote with the Sauk Prairie FFA last Saturday night in Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin. There's just a line, right, between Sauk City and Prairie du Sac. Mason, is that how it works?
Yep. Yeah. It's confusing.
No. For years, people have said, "Why is it?" I always say, "Oh, I'm going over to Sauk," and then people say, "No, it's Prairie du Sac," and then it's just a bunch of. I just say I'm going to Elsting's house, so it's easier that way. So it's all good. We have a winter video, but let's wait a second on that. Perfect weather, Mason. Like the most perfect weather I've ever seen. Like it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. You guys were able to build a nice track. Talk about the event and talk about being part of the Sauk Prairie FFA that helped put that on, if you don't mind.
Let's do it. We got to have a huge thank you to them guys for having the Badger tractor puller, and it was just like you said, the perfect weather for tractor pull. And you couldn't have complained and couldn't ask for better, and the track was good, and the people lined out the door to get into the place. We haven't seen that in a while, and it's just all about weather. And we got Fair Valley Performance for helping sponsor Farland and get town. They bring all the stuff we need, so we got to thank you. Huge part of our FFA.
Yeah, Mason, you're at a crappy spot for internet right now. You're kind of breaking up a little bit. What Mason was saying was the crowd was great. They had a huge line of people to get in, like one of the biggest crowds they've seen in a while. And what did you say, Mason? Did you say they ran out of burgers like at 6 or 6:30 and the poll started at 4? Is that what you said earlier? Yeah, let's just kill Mason.
Yeah. You there?
Yeah, there we are. You're back. Okay, cool. Maybe turn off your camera and see if we can just hear you, Mason.
Or just turn it back up and down.
Think that'll help?
Yeah, so it doesn't have to go across the whole screen.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
You think it'd be that easy?
We can try.
That help?
Yeah,
That
helps. Just want to hear your audio.
Same thing.
Mason, talk about. You said, did you say it started at 4 and you ran out of food like at 6?
Yeah,
Mason.
like 30 or 7:30. We got a burger. And we had to huge thanks to Prem Meats. They were in town. They got us going again.
Okay, good deal. Again, Mason Elsing joining us. He's mowing hay right now. It's go time in Wisconsin for cow chow, and he's getting after it. But I wanted to have Mason on tonight because he's part of the Sauk Prairie FFA. So we're having a little bit of internet issues with him, but we thank him for jumping on. Did you, Mason? You said Fair Valley Performance, and then somebody else. I missed them a little bit in the beginning.
McFarland's ag retail store in town. They sponsor the crap out of the FFA. And anything we need, they bring right up. And there's a bunch more, but I'm forgetting them. But
No, I kind of sprung this on you.
Wine
Okay.
They help.
Yeah, I sprung this on you on the last second, so I apologize for that, Mason. But it's been a busy Monday, as you know, and then it's getting going. So what's coming up for Badger State Pullers these next couple weeks?
So next week this coming weekend is our festival, and then after that is Mackville, and then after that it is we're in Edgerton on 4th of July weekend.
All right, perfect. All right, cool, Mace. Well, your internet sucks, buddy. We're gonna let you go. We're gonna play the winner video, and I'll catch up with you this summer, okay, buddy?
Sounds good.
All right. See you, bud. We'll let Mason.
All the way in.
All right, fans. So that was the winner video from the Spring Fling this past weekend in Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin, which kicked off the Badger State 2025 season. They had 5 classes over there. We did live stream that on Full Pull Live, so we wanted to share that winner video. We have the video playing behind us as well. I was vice president of Badger State years ago with Greg when I had my 4.1 Limited Pro, and love the Badger State Pullers. Good humans, close to home, and it was good to showcase one of their events. And yeah, just a great pull, Logan. It was great to see the crowd just packed. Yeah. And again, the weather was absolutely perfect. It was perfect tractor pulling weather this past weekend over in Sauk. So
that's really good to see is when the crowd's completely packed, standing room only, and selling out of burgers, because that means people are doing a good job of promoting and getting the event around.
Yep.
And I'm sure that none of those fans had any sort of doubt with coming to it, because they were faced with some great iron out there this weekend.
Yeah, they had 2 super modified 2-wheel drive trucks. You had a couple of guys showing up that wanted to kind of get some test passes in for Farley. Simons, for example, they brought how many, Kenzie? They just bought Willie Make It from Barbie.
And then they have the blue Chevrolet.
They have their blue Chevy. So everybody know the Big 50 to win is coming up June 12th through the 14th in Farley, and I know some people are there. Zen's, that's last year's points champion, came out of the gates, won Saturday night. Him and his brother were 1 and 2. Tony McDonald, who finished second in points last year with Badger State, got first. John Coots, who finished first last year, got second or third. So some of the vehicles we expected to be on top, Logan, kind of came out on top again with Badger State from what I could see. My daughter had graduation, so I was hanging out doing that. I caught the live stream when I could, but it was just fun to kind of see everybody and get going. So congratulations to the Sauk Prairie FFA. We're going to switch gears. We're going to go out west to Ravenna, Nebraska, and we're going to talk about kicking off the Outlaw truck and tractor pulling season at Anavar Park, and it's going to be 80 and sunny. Kyle Petch absolutely guaranteed that for me. We're going to bring on Kyle Petch, the what's his official title?
The COO.
COO. He's the coup of the Outlaw truck and tractor pulling, and then the Ronald Stone, who is the VP and the voice, more important, the voice of the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. And then we're going to Tim McCowan. I think I'm saying Tim's last name right. I butcher it every year, and I try not to do it, but he's on with us. And Ravenna, Nebraska is one of the big outlaw pulls. Like if I said to somebody, name the big 5 outlaw pulls, you're going to say Ravenna, you're going to say a Wisner, you're going to say a Rock Valley, a Whitewright, maybe a Wayne, Nebraska now, an Iowa State Fair. Sorry if I hurt somebody's feelings, but I'm just kind of winging this. But that's one of those pulls that happens. So let's play the Ravenna video, and then let's bring our guests on while that's playing.
Okay, we're
Just got to find it, Kenzie.
I gotta find it. I don't have names anymore.
Scrolls.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, friends.
Oh,
Howdy.
Oh,
What's
goodbye,
going on?
Tim.
Where'd Tim go? You lost him.
Yeah,
he
he
says
decided
device is not
he
connected.
didn't wanna
Well,
be-
Tim's a great promoter, but I think he sucks at technology. I'm just going to throw that out there. But he's a hell of a promoter. He puts on a great show. So it's all good. Ron Stone, Kenzie, when she saw you and Kyle get on, she's like, do they know it's Monday, not Tuesday?
we take all our time we can get.
It's all good. Well, you have 17 minutes, so go to town, boys. Hey, Logan, this is an easy interview because you got the voice of the Outlaws.
These guys know what to do.
Jason, I was just going to say, Kyle is the 2, I'm the B, and it's Tim McEwen.
Tim McEwen, and he's back. Tim is back. Tim, can you hear us? Tim, don't.
I can hear you.
That's perfect. You look great. You look absolutely.
You don't have
fantastic.
you don't have a video, do you?
No, but it's okay. You look fantastic. We got Ron. He's got the pretty hair. It's all good. So.
Yeah,
Well, you know what? I'm not really good at this. I got my daughter helping me.
No, as long as we can hear you and Kyle and Ron can ask you questions, this will be the best 17 minutes of your life. I promise.
Okay. I need some good minutes in my life.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Ron, take over, buddy.
Hey, man, we're excited. We are absolutely jacked about Ravenna, Nebraska this weekend. We're going to kick off one heck of a season. 43 events this year, 53 sessions of pulling. Going to be huge. And I can't believe we're already just a few days away from the first pull of the season.
Yeah, it came real fast. Last I knew, we were in Louisville watching some tractor pulling. We had some other stuff going on, and we're going to Ravenna this weekend. I'm excited.
Yeah, Jason, you said it was going to be 80 and sunny, sunny and 75, I think, is what we're shooting for. Sunny.
Oh, I was just making it up because I hate when I see comments. Because I am the ultimate truck and tractor puller promoter for making it rain. I am known in Richland Center, Wisconsin. It cannot rain for 2 months, and I have a tractor pull and it rains. So, and Ravenna's been, we've had some tough luck the last couple of years, and I'm hoping we're going to break that spell. We got our Ravenna poster up there. It's just a heck of a pull. It's just a heck of a pull. So,
and I'm looking at my weather app now, and it's already looking better than it did last night at this time for Ravenna. It literally says sunny and 80 on Saturday.
I like it.
Well, that sounds pretty nice.
Yeah,
I like it. Tim, are people excited in Ravenna to kick off the Outlaw season? What's been going on for you guys?
Well, I've been busy the last month trying to get this thing going. It just ain't me. We got a lot of good guys on our committee. We was down there last week and worked. We got a big storm coming through here tonight. It's supposed to jump 1 to 2 inches of rain. We'll see what happens. It looks like it's fizzling, but you never know what's going to happen. And then they're talking rain on Thursday, and your forecast is wrong because they're talking scattered showers on Friday and Saturday now. So we'll see what happens.
Tim.
Depends on what weather app you're looking at.
Yeah, Ron, we got to talk to Tim about these weather reports before he comes live on the podcast.
I aim for the worst and hope for the best.
Marty Samuelson, the unofficial mayor of the Ravenna Tractor Pull, he's been watching Outlawed Live for 5 years, and the podcast has only been on for 4, and it's great to have him on here. Well, no, Ron, he's one of our super fans on Outlawed Live. So
He absolutely is. We have a lot of those. We have a lot of those super fans on there. No, it depends on what app you look at. And still in the Midwest, that's a long ways out yet.
Yep.
For, to be looking at the weather. And anybody that lives in the Midwest knows that. So, we're optimistic. And we're going to Ravenna regardless. And I think this is the year we're going to get both nights in. And we're going to have a heck of a kickoff to the season here this weekend.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. Make it all work this weekend.
Yep. Taking a look at the app, we've got, several classes starting to fill up. There's going to be more. We're early in the week on that. So, for those of you that are interested in what we're running, check out the app, and we'll keep updating that.
Yeah, just remember there's still a lot of pullers that have not signed in yet as well. So we're trying to encourage them to get signed in. We know some people that are coming that haven't signed in yet, so we're trying to encourage them to do so. So don't get discouraged if you look at the app and you don't see your favorite puller on there, because chances are they probably just haven't signed in yet.
Yes.
Ron,
So I
with
guess
11
this one's here for you, Tim. What do you got left to do before the event? I mean, is track work coming along and vendors are ready, or how's things coming?
Well, I got all the speakers ready to go yesterday, and everything sounds good. We're trying to do something different with the crow's nest. We bought another condex. We're going to try to get it put on top and make it look a little safer, look a little nicer. And I don't know if we'll get that done. But we just otherwise just getting the safety, our banners up, and it's just little stuff is where we're at right now. So it's coming along really good.
Tim, how long is this event? How long have you been promoting this event in Ravenna?
Well, how long's the Outlaws been here?
A long time.
30 years?
Yeah.
Kyle, text your dad really quick. We need to ask Fred.
I remember tractor pulling there when I was in high school, so we'll just.
Oh man, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. I remember Kyle since he's been a little guy.
Yeah,
So
it's a long-standing pull, and the one thing I can tell you about Ravenna, and we talked a little bit about rain and things like that, that if there's one place that I've ever been, that if there's been some rain, that they will pull that pole off, that Ravenna is one of those locations. So don't let any of that scare any of you off if you're worried about that.
So we talked rain and past events. Are there any events that do come to mind where they've pulled off something kind of out of the hat trick on, there's a big rain right before and we pulled it out? Any big stories?
Well, I don't know how long ago it was, but we had a cat dozer and a couple of road graders, and we pushed that off till like 10 o'clock in the night, all the mud. And then we pulled till like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Now we're getting older. When we were kids, that was okay.
Right.
But
now last year we were rained out on Friday night.
Yep.
And you guys jumped on it and got the track ready, and we pulled on Saturday night.
Yeah, we worked our tails off on Saturday. Brought sand in, gravel, everything we could do to dry everything out to make it work.
Yep. So I've never been to Ravenna because that's just not kind of our neck of the woods where we venture. But say from a first-time fan's perspective, what are some things to look for this year that's been different than years past, or just in general?
Well, first of all, we bring the best equipment in the world in at our place. And people enjoy that type of equipment. I have people still tell me, well, how many hooks do you have? Who's coming in? And I says, you don't know any of these people, but I says, they'll bring a hell of a show to you. And, I'm hoping for 100, 110 hooks. And I know we're the first pull of the year. I know equipment's a little light because a lot of guys aren't ready or still trying to plant or whatever they're doing. But I still think we put on a hell of a show. I mean, them guys that bring equipment in here are just unreal.
Yeah, the stakes are a little higher this year, Tim, and I just want to mention that the Holganics Midwest Summer Sweep starts in Ravenna Now,
Yeah,
this is
it
a
does.
point series within a point series, and there are 10 classes involved in that sweep. There's $80,000 up for grabs, by the way. 10 hooks for each of those 10 classes. 9 of those 10 classes begin the sweep Friday night and Saturday night in Ravenna. So if the pullers are going to take advantage and they want to be part of that sweep, they're going to be at Ravenna, Nebraska. So yeah, the stakes are high for those pullers if they want to get in and get a piece of that $80,000.
And they're a sponsor for us too, so I appreciate what they're doing for us.
Oh yeah, excellent sponsor, Organics Midwest, and that sweep is just awesome. You know, we had it last year, and they more than doubled, what they were doing last year, and it really is going to draw some pullers out when they can pull for 2 different point series basically, and they don't conflict with each other. They're basically going to be pulling for 2 different series of points this weekend, and at all the Organics Midwest pulls. So they're pulling for Case IH, Thunder the Dirt, Outlaws points for the whole season. Then those 10 hooks with the Organics Midwest Summer Sweep. So there's some money up there, up for grabs, and the pullers just got to show up and hit those hooks if they want to get a piece of that chunk of that change.
We put a lot of work into this, but it's all said and done. I know a lot of the pullers, and I like visiting with on Friday and Saturday, and it just kind of makes the weekend really special.
Tim, you have a lot of local pullers that live out there by you, right?
Well, yeah, we lost. Rod Pasoda sold his tractor last year, which was kind of sad because Rod, he pulled for 40 years, but he sold his tractor. But yeah, otherwise, yes, we got a lot of tractors out in this part of the country.
Like Ron or Kyle, who would consider Ravenna their hometown pull? Like, does Gary Barrett, is that kind of one of the names that jumps out at me? Or
Oh, Gary Barrett, Bill Barrett, Keith Keyshaw, he pulls with it. Even Kyle Petch calls Ravenna his hometown pull.
Yep, that one would be mine. Greg Jagger.
Greg Jagger, he's pulling the old Wampus Cat. So, and he follows the circuit really well. I think he's after, at his age, he's after the big one, and I hope he gets it one of these years.
he definitely has the potential.
He was right there last year.
Yep. He had some, I think he had some problems at the tail end of the year, kind of hurt him a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, this is your hometown pull. What's the best you've ever done at Ravenna? Because we know that's the hardest one to win.
I won both nights one year in 2010.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So no, we've always had some pretty good luck out there. You start to say a hometown pull, and once in a while that isn't the luckiest thing for most bowlers, but we have had some good luck.
I can tell you a story about Kyle.
Please do.
He was pulling down in Gibbon when they used to have their July 4th pull, and his skid plates on the back of his tractor, the chain caught it and flipped it on its side. Remember that?
Yep, the very first time in a turbine tractor going down the track.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Right in front of us.
I don't know if I buy that skid plate excuse, though. I'm not sure that's it.
Well, they used to have them on the back, but when they got too high in the air, they would stop it, or for not going back anymore.
Right.
Yeah, it was a combination. Back when the sleds were starting to kind of change a little bit and run a little bit free at about 100 foot and so, and I was just a little crossway in the track, and next thing you know, we're on its side.
Yeah.
Ron, as the voice of the Outlaws, and I know you do a lot more, but everybody knows you as the announcer of the Outlaws. What does Ravenna mean to the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association, and what are some of your fondest memories over the years on the mic there, big guy?
It's kind of just become the season opener for us. This is the one that starts the madness of the summer pulling season for the Outlaws, and it's cool that we can start it all off. And of course, the sweep this year adds to that excitement. But I mean, everybody's kind of got the butterflies. Everybody's raring to go, and Ravenna is just it's the kickoff of the season. I will tell you, the last 2 years haven't been the greatest for us. I mean, Saturday night last year was awesome, but after getting rained out completely the year before, when it rained us out Friday night, we're like, oh boy, here we go again. But, you know, it's cool. We've done some things on Thursday night at the R Bar there in Ravenna, and some pullers have been gracious enough to pull their vehicles up there, and for people coming down the main street there can see those vehicles and stop and hang out, and everybody hangs out at the R Bar, and just to get the weekend started. But like Tim said, hanging out with the pullers in the pit area, you know, after the pull, and everybody knows the Outlaw organization is just one big family. It's always fun to hang out and eat with all the pullers afterwards, and it's just that whole family atmosphere to brings you back home the first pull of the season there in Ravenna.
So what was-
Having audio issues?
No, I don't think. Do we?
Go ahead, Tim. I
Are you
can hear
talking
you.
to us?
No, I was trying to mute myself to let you guys talk. My bad. Sorry.
Okay.
We weren't.
Yeah, Ron, I'm gonna be quiet for 4 more minutes. So.
All right, buddy. Sorry.
No.
No.
So you guys mentioned Holganics and their miniature point series that you're running. Who are some other sponsors that are helping put this event on, Tim?
Oh, some of our major sponsors.
Yeah.
You know, we got like 84 sponsors that go from $500 up to $5,000 to help promote this. And, you know, like last year, you know, we got rained out.
Yep.
And we made, I'll be honest with you, we bought rain out insurance and we got some money, and it helped us keep this poll going. You know, and last year, and we felt bad the previous year, everybody drove out here. We didn't give him much, but we gave him something out of that purse or that money last year to help pay for some expenses coming up here.
Yeah.
And I hope they appreciate that. And we did what we could do. I mean, I know we can't control the weather up here, and I feel bad. But I'm hoping everything goes good this weekend. You know, a lot of these guys drive a long ways, and I appreciate what they do, and we'll do our best to get it pulled off.
Yeah, I'm glad
Awesome.
you brought that up, Tim. I forgot all about that. I'm glad you brought that up.
So, like I said, it wasn't much, but it was something, and I hope they appreciated it. I mean, it might have bought them 500 miles of fuel, but it was better than nothing.
Yeah. Something to at least help them get on home.
Yeah. So, but like I said, we'll try our best. We'll make it work. And, you know, if we get some rain showers on Friday, Saturday afternoon, as long as I got a crowd, we'll pull.
Yep. And this might be a question for you, Ron, but is there any big headlining stories coming in? Any new tractors coming out that are going to be debuted? Anything big?
There is a new pro stock that will be there this weekend. The one out of Rock Valley, Kurt Koima and Dave Rosaboom, the Pro Rock. I'm not sure what they're going to call it yet, but
Well, he's not pulling Super Farm anymore.
no, they still have the Super Farm, but they have the Pro stock now.
Well, they got a Pro stock too.
Yeah,
Oh, I did not know that.
yeah, Big 50 Pro, and I seen that the Van Beeks got their tractor painted up. It's looking gorgeous. The Extreme Pleasure tractor. The Wagers out of Oklahoma will be here. They're going to chase points the whole season this year in Pro Stock. So that's a couple tractors that the Pro Stock pullers have to contend with. They haven't normally had to contend with in the points race as far as the points go, and those are two tough tractors. So that Pro Stock race could get even closer than it was last year.
So in this last minute or so we got here, let's just go around the table. What's some of the best memories or fondest times that you guys have had out here, and some good stories?
I want to go first. In 2023, I committed to run Outlaw points in 4.1, and my dad got what?
It was in 22.
Oh yeah, because we didn't run in 23.
Yeah.
Because we were broken.
Yep.
In 22, and my dad drove Friday night, and he laid one out there, and I thought we were going to win the damn thing, and then Padex came and snipped him there at the end. And I thought, here we go, we're off to a good start. And then I drove it Saturday night and got like last. So that was I learned to let my dad drive my tractor, Logan, after that, and I'm currently continuing to do that today. So it's all good.
It
and
seems
he won
to be
last
the
year
other
on
way around
Saturday
with
night.
our stuff.
What's that, Logan?
It seems to be the other way around with our stuff.
Well, that's because you're not as humble as I am, Logan. Someday, young Miyagi, you'll be as humble as Jason Schultz. So. All right, Kyle, your turn.
Hey, well, back in 14, we built a new tractor. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we fired it up for the first time, took it to Ravenna, took it down track, and got second with it. So that's another good memory.
Yep, I like it.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't have any specific memory that stands out in my mind, but I think last year maybe all the work that went into the track all day Saturday, getting it ready after that rain Friday night, and we were able to pull off an amazing pull on Saturday night after that rain. That's probably the best memory from Ravenna for me.
Awesome.
There's been a lot of memories for me, but Barron's last year when he hooked in that class of years, Kyle,
Yeah.
he could have pulled that to the next county if they wouldn't have shut him down.
That was a right time, right place, right hook, right everything. That was a very impressive run.
I'd never seen nothing like that before up there.
Yeah.
I remember that, Kyle, because that was always how much should we, let the turbine guys have? And I remember you looked at Kurt, and Kurt looked at you and said, "Uh-oh."
Like I said, everything was perfect. We're still chasing that run.
Yeah, I was down in that corner when he come down there. That was kind of scary.
Yeah.
No,
I was going to say, Tim, by the way, the Pasota tractor is signed up, so Kurt Paulson, he will be there.
He will be there. Okay. Is he still called? He's still called the Crazy Horse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. No, good stuff. Well, guys, we got a busy show tonight. We really appreciate you coming on, Tim. Thanks for letting us be part of your event again. Kenzie will be out Thursday with all the live streaming equipment. Kyle, Ron, appreciate you guys coming on. I know Tim jump on Outlawed Live again tomorrow night. We're going to continue to pound social media all week for you. Pullers, if you're going to Ravenna, put it on your Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Instagram, whatever you use, and let the fans know that Ravenna, Nebraska, Anavar Park, and is the place to be June 6th and 7th. And Anavar Park is Ravenna backwards for all you history buffs out there. So there you go.
Your Jeopardy fact of the day.
Jeopardy fact of the day. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Ron. Bye, Kyle. Bye, Tim.
Thanks.
We're going to go from Nebraska to Ohio. Now, Logan, you actually know this promoter, right, Logan?
I believe I got to meet him at it might have been midnight out there in the middle of Ohio, but yeah.
Perfect. Dragway 42, OSTPA, Ohio State Tractor Pulling Association Pull of the Year. Kyle Matcham, the promoter, him and his family own the racetrack out there. We're going to bring him on as soon as Kenzie pushes the happy button. And Kyle, welcome to Let's Go Pulling. How are you, buddy?
Going on? How are you guys?
Happy to be here, buddy. Happy to be here.
Another damn paradise.
Talk to us, Kyle. Logan, this one's yours. Take him.
All right.
You've been there.
I'll take this over. How's it going, Kyle?
Pretty good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Looks like you guys got a heck of an event set out in the next, let's see, we're only a few days away from it here.
Yeah. Getting there, so.
So walk us through what's going on. What are you doing to prepare? How's things going along?
We're getting there. Been trying to get the facility set up and stuff on that end of things. Track's in pretty decent shape, but we're going to keep it worked a little bit. Going to keep it sealed for this week until the time comes. Looks like there might be some weather mid this week, so we're going to keep it sealed up and see what happens. Go from there. Can't predict the weather or judge it. So
yeah, and same ways here in the Midwest. Yeah. I think Jason or Kenzie's got us a poster and a video for Dragway 42. That is.
There you go.
There we go. So kicking off Friday at 7 p.m.
Yeah, both nights are at 7. Gates open at 4 for spectators at both days. On Saturday at 5, there's a kids pedal pull for different age classes. Open pit area. That's one big thing that we have here at the racetrack, just in general, especially with drag racing and tractor pulling. Every ticket's a pit pass. There's no additional fee to go check out the pits. So I think it's a unique thing that a lot of venues in Ohio do have, but I've been to other places where they upcharge for that, and I think it gets younger kids can hop in.
Yeah.
Yep. Drivers' vehicles and hopefully get the niche. Some of them, or if nothing else,
Walk away with a souvenir and a handshake and maybe an autograph.
Correct.
Hey, Kyle, this has been voted multi-time pull of the year, right, by OSTPA?
Yeah, the past 2 years, or 23 and 24, the pullers voted on our event in the spring as the pull of the year.
So fans, if you're
38.
thinking, do I need to go to Dragway 42? And you're a fan and you hear that it's been pull of the year the last 2 years, that's a really good sign that you need to go to this pull because they know what they're doing. Pullers, they vote on it with their heart, right, Logan? I mean, you vote on parking, you vote on the classes. Yep. Is the track good? Are the concessions good? It's the whole thing. It's the same thing that the pullers want as well. So it's pretty awesome, Kyle, to get that award.
Yeah, we've been gaining on it. We started polls here in 2018, and I was just counting today. I think this will be our 13th event, and not a weekend, but which is crazy to think that.
So is OSTPA? Sorry, is OSTPA putting on all your classes out there, or just Saturday nights?
So there's 4 Ohio State classes on Friday night, as well as 4 from the Southeastern Ohio Polling Series, and then we're also having a 13,000-pound farm stock class that's non-sanctioned on Friday night, and then on Saturday. We're having 10 of OSTPA's classes. In total, though, the state organization just this year, last year they had 9 total classes to run for points. This year they added 2 classes, the light limited super stocks and the mini rods. Mm-hmm. I have the mini rods on Saturday night and I have the light limiteds on Friday night. So between the weekend, you can see every class that's on the Ohio State tour.
Yeah.
Which is pretty unique. It'll be the only event on the schedule this year that at one venue between the 2 days, you can see every class that Ohio State has to offer.
And it is split between 2 days, so you don't get stung with a show that takes hours and hours to do. So it's really spread out really nice. And then let's transition into something else. Are you guys running anything over on the strip?
Not this weekend.
Not this weekend on the track.
Well, there's a race on Thursday night and there is a race on Sunday, but there's no drag racing at the same time, at least during this event. We have done some stuff in the past. I'd like to try and incorporate something together someday in the future.
Someday.
Logistics, it's a lot.
Well, and you guys are doing a great job as it is. So how many vehicles are we looking at having out there? Are we going to be up into the hundreds with a hook count, or have you guys gotten any big competitors saying that we'll be there?
There's some commitments. I haven't, obviously there's a lot of people that you could reach out to that I don't have all the contacts to. I'd say probably between the 2 tracks and all the classes, even both days, well into the at least 80s, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. There's always the chance, early in the season, especially it's been fairly wet, I think across the Midwest, but in Ohio too, that has affected some farmers, especially that are still trying to get crops in. So stuff varies, especially in the early season. But
yeah, it's very unpredictable.
Yep. So just have to play it by ear, see what happens. I know I know there's a bunch of people looking forward to the event and getting there, and if they manage to get rained out someday during the week with planting operation, that they might venture out.
Kyle,
well.
you guys have been wet, right, this year?
Yes, it's been one of the roughest in recent years, I'll say. I think the
I
last
know
one
at our
was
Pullers
wet.
Championship a couple weeks ago, Kyle, there were pullers that had not put an acre in the ground yet down in that southern
As of
Illinois
last
area
week, I
where we
know a
were.
couple people myself that actually helped with families operations that help with the track here, track building, and the only crops that they had planted were probably 70-ish acres, and it probably had to be replanted. So, if not, no one's planted anything at all. Some people got it. Some people have some stuff in, but it's being this late, it's crazy.
Again, if you just joined us, Kyle Matcham with this promoter of the Dragway 42 truck and tractor pull this Friday and Saturday at the raceway there, June 6th and June 7th. He talked about a little bit of the class a little bit. Kyle, how many years have you and your family been putting on truck and tractor pulls there at the racetrack?
Since we started in 2018, and
Okay.
since 2020, we've been doing 2 a year. So I think this will be technically our 13th event and seventh year.
Okay. So you guys have a phenomenal facility out there, and fans prospecting, looking for an event to go. What can the fans expect for food, seating, entertainment, and just kind of the whole show in general?
Starts with free parking over in our spectator lot. I mentioned already free pit access for everyone. Kids pedal pull on Saturday is also free, no charge. We do have a beer tent for those 21 and older. We have a bunch of merchandise vendors, food vendors, popcorn, barbecue, burgers, anything you name it, they have that. So have all that. Pretty open area. There is hillside seating. There is limited bleacher seating, so we do recommend
Bring a lawn chair.
if you want to bring a lawn chair. We also do infield VIP seating, or basically tailgate spots on both the hilltop and on the infield side. There's some available on both days, still online. If you go to dragway42.com, you can purchase those in advance, and highly recommend doing that, because typically by the time the gates open, those will all be sold out. So
Hey, Kyle, how deep are we into the OSTPA season so far?
this will be pull 2 and 3.
Okay.
2 on Friday and 3 on Saturday. They had one event last Saturday in Alliance with 3 of the classes. So
Okay.
this will be basically the second event for the Ohio State.
And you have multiple pulling events here, if I remember correctly, right? Can you talk about your fall event as well?
Yep. So the fall event was the longest standing event we have, which is September. They'll be coming up on September 13th this year. 7 classes, 2, but all 3 events, 2 in June on the 6th and 7th, and the one on the 13th of September, are all 2 tracks. So there's constantly stuff going on. There's not a lot of dead time, and we try to keep a pretty quick paced show.
All right, Kyle, so take your promoter hat off for a second. I know you love the sport of truck and tractor pulling as much as we do. What are some of your other favorite events to go to, maybe in Ohio or in the area? And then the second question is, what are some events you've never been to that you want to go to, Kyle, as a spectator?
Probably my first pull ever was Bowling Green, so I mean that one stands out. Also Wellington, Ohio for Lorain County Fair.
Yep.
And one that I've been going to recently has been Stark County. I believe that's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, that's Schmucker's Pull, right? Their
Yeah.
county fair.
Canton.
Pretty good
Canton?
event.
Okay. Yep.
Wish I could make going to pulls I'd like to attend. Toma's always on the bucket list. Chapel Hill. I'd like to go to the pull out in Farley next weekend. I think that's pretty unique. We see, hats off to the Simons. There's a lot of similarities there with how they set that up to dirt track racing, or in our world over here with the sport of drag racing. Just this past weekend, we had 3 days of $20,000 to win 300 cars. So understand the payout structure of that, and I think it'll be a big success. Wish them the best, and hopefully that stuff takes off, because I think just a cool event.
Yeah, I think it's a different mindset for a puller, because RJ's always said, like in racing, and you grew up in racing obviously as well with the track you guys run and own. The competitors kind of pay their own purse. That back gate he always talked about is what really steps it up to do that. So I think at first, RJ, it was that big wow, 50,000 to win, and then I think it kind of will, and I think now the momentum's picking back up again. People are really excited. They get it. We can say this is the biggest payout in the history of pulling, and I think you'll see other promoters try. I know Freeport, Kyle's trying something with a jackpot this year as well. This sort of what we did at the Pullers. We started the Pullers Championship 4 years ago. That $500 buy-in plus all the money goes back. So there's a lot of. It's fun to see different people trying different things like that, Kyle.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got a few minutes left to finish this up. Who'd you like to thank? Who's sponsoring? Any groups helping you out?
The presenting sponsor is Bad Gear. I'm already over at Bad Gear. So Roush Diesel, Summit Racing Equipment. Yeah, go off my list here. Catch me off guard. I don't want to miss anyone, so let me. World Truck Towing, Bears Towing, Bowers Towing. Bowers Towing is very local to us. They help us with a lot of track maintenance type deal. They bring a lot of their vintage international tractors and help us do that. They've been long supporters of this event that without their help wouldn't be possible. So I want to thank them. The Hat Shack, SSI Superchargers, Arabeck Trucking, Roush Diesel, Smith Brothers Mulch, Cyclone Diesel Performance, Pashoni Trucking, 501 Performance, Schaefer Oil, General Maintenance Company. Those are some of the ones so far that really help with that. Ross Transportation. Just a lot of people involved to make, as everyone knows, there's a lot of people that are involved to make any event successful.
It takes a lot to put on an event.
Yep.
And even with your guys' scale, and you guys run it flawlessly out there. So
we appreciate that. We're trying to gain on it every year to try to make little improvements, stuff like that. So.
We definitely enjoyed our time. Well, thank you, Kyle, for coming on and spending some time.
I wish you good luck, Kyle, and I hope the rain gods work with you. And it is two tracks, right? Chris has a question.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Just want to make sure I answered
two
that.
tracks.
Sorry about that.
Awesome.
Good deal.
Well,
Good
thank
deal.
you, Kyle.
Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Have a good evening.
Yep. Kyle Matcham, everybody, promoter of Dragway 42. That guy loves the sport of truck and tractor pulling. Logan loves it. Like, he's a super fan. And that's fun to have him because he cares, and his family to get engaged with it, and for them to have a drag strip and pulling. That's good cross promotion as well, Logan, if you think about it. Because not every drag racing fan. How many times have you heard say, how fast does that go down the drag strip and somebody sees your mini rod, right?
Yeah, how fast does that go kind of deal. But no, Kyle's that guy. Anything you need as a puller or a fan, you tell him and he'll make sure it gets done. So
I love it. I love it a lot. Wish him good luck. OSTPA Pull of the Year the last 2 years in a row. Again, great facility, great track. I've heard nothing but good things about it. So pretty excited for them. We need all our Ohio fans in that region to head to West Salem, Ohio, again, this Friday night and Saturday night. OSTPA classes both nights. And he talked about some of the other classes they have Friday night, really to kind of mix it up, Kenzie. And I think that makes it fun. So we're waiting for Julie Rose to come on from the Power Nationals. But I know she's busy this week. They're farmers as well, and it's always busy for the pull week. But so Hutchinson, Minnesota is this Friday night and Saturday night. It's the first NTPA Grand National Pole of the Year because Benson is no longer with us as of this year for sure. With the owner of a new track, so I need to change my video behind me. And then it is the only Grand National in the state of Minnesota, Logan, and it's also the home of the Ricky Rose,
The Esden Lane.
the Esden Lane, who else?
The Ricky Rose.
The Brett Berg. There's a lot of
There is.
I don't think they could ever cut a class because of the amount of pullers that are up in that area that make it happen. It's kind of funny.
Gibsons are up there.
Yeah, they are. So it's a really great event. Awesome grandstands, Logan, and then the pits are really laid out nice for the fans to walk through and really enjoy it. I'm really looking forward to go up there. I'll be up there with Full Pull Live. Kenzie's going out to Ravenna, but really looking forward to being up to Hutch. My tractor is going to be up there first time. I've had my Limited Pro up there, Logan. The first time the Diesel Super is going to be up there. My dad will be driving that for us Friday night and Saturday night. Scrappy's going to be there. First time running for Grand National Points. We're both going to chase that this year as trailer mates. Bauer is supposed to have his brand new Diesel Super out. So on Full Pull Facebook, I posted a picture of that I took in Wasion when Chaos had just delivered the chassis. But it's supposed to be all painted. I haven't seen any pictures yet. I don't think Chase is going to give them to me.
I've talked to the man behind everything, and I heard things are coming along pretty well.
Good deal. But yeah, that's supposed to be there. I confirmed with Marty Wilson, the official handler of Ken Venny, that he will be running Grand National Points. Ken Venny,
Nice.
85 years old, chasing it.
Wow.
So are you the youngest mini rod puller, Logan? We got to get a picture of you and Ken Venny together.
As of now, the Nelson hasn't stepped into it. So I believe as of now, I'm the youngest mini on the Grand National Series. Tanner Nelson hasn't set foot in the mini yet. So
for now, we can say we have the youngest.
For now,
Driver on.
Tanner's coming after me as just a few months younger than me.
Technicalities.
Oh, it's all good. It is all good. We're sharing the video behind us there. Travis Schlabaugh. So super stock diesel tractors, super stock diesel trucks, modified. And Ricky goes unlimited 1 year and modified the next because he pulls in both classes. You got the mini rods as well up there. And then the super stock diesel trucks, talked about that. There's the Esden Lane. We got mods, semis, and pro stocks.
And pros.
Womp womp womp.
Pro stocks.
So it's going to be heck of a show. Last year we did get rained out on Saturday night, which really bummed us out, but it happens. Kenzie's been up there in the past as well. What do you like about Hutch?
Well, it's close to home.
It's close to home. Nice.
And just the, how do I say it, the caliber of pulling that's there.
Yeah.
It's the Grand National.
Yeah,
pulling.
it is. I mean,
All
it's
the cool people.
It's the NTPA Grand National, and it's the big class. And I asked Ricky one time a couple years ago, Logan, why do you promote a pull? He goes, because I want to have a Grand National in my home state, close to home. So that means a lot to him. And Julie helps him out a ton and runs the damn thing. And then they have a lot of great volunteers up there as well. And his brother helps build the track. It's a beautiful fairgrounds. A lot of great camping, Logan.
Yep.
Huge grandstand. You can see that in some of the videos there, right there.
Yeah.
Just packed both nights.
Dang,
I
you
love
see it from space.
You can see it from space. That should be a T-shirt. We can see it from space. That's one thing I like for sure. But excited to be up there. We'll be up there with Full Pull Live again. Dan Mayer and Phil McIntyre will be up in the booth. I'm going to be doing the trackside announcing, so really looking forward to it. Just a great event. For me, it's the crowd. Yeah. I'm bummed whenever I go to a pull, Logan. I don't care if it's a garden tractor pull up to a Grand National, but man, if the seats aren't full, Logan, I'm bummed out because it is truly the greatest motorsport on earth. I love it. Grew up with it. It means everything to me. I do it with my dad, and it's a lot of fun like that. So, McLeod County Fairgrounds. Again, this Friday night, Saturday night, 7 o'clock both nights.
Yes.
Plenty of food vendors, all kinds of stuff like that. If you haven't got your Busch Light T-shirt yet, for UD Motorsports, we're going to have those for sale at our trailer. We did put that link up as well on the fullpull.us website, but a lot of fun. And this is the kickoff of the Grand National season. When's the first? So Outlaws kick off at Ravenna this weekend. When's the first big PPL pull, Logan? Do you know?
First big PPL pull is going to be Mackville.
Okay, well, what a good segue because we're talking to Waylon.
I know. Let's jump. Might as well.
He's not here yet, but
It's just us.
yeah, so Whalen's the son of Roger. He's the promoter. Mackville means a lot to me because when I lived up in Appleton, I got to help Roger and Renee Grody and some of the guys that put on that event for a couple of years. I learned a lot of good things. You know, Logan, like, it's not easy to bring in like an NTPA Grand National, or it's a lot of money to bring in that caliber of pulling like a Champions Tour event. But they work with Badger State, and I think they have 3 or 4 Champions Tour classes as well. I'll let Whalen go through that, but they also do a lot of local stuff too. So and then the things they do, the live music, the meat paddles, all the different charitable things they do, they've kept their school going up there at the parish for a number of years from that, up in Mackville. And it did move to the Seymour County Fairgrounds as well. We'll let Whalen talk about that in a little bit. We still have our Hutchinson video playing. I was really hoping Julie would come on tonight, but I know how busy she is, and that's just how it goes. So there's always been some monster passes up there. I know last year a couple pro stocks went 380 or 390 on Friday night. The semis always put on a great show. Like you said, it's a heck of a good pull. For all of you who's going to Hutchinson this weekend, please holler at me or let me know. Say hi, and we'd love to hang out a little bit. And so far, I've not looked at the weather for this weekend. Have you?
No,
it's only Monday, right?
It's only Monday.
It's only Monday. Oh, speaking of the Whalen Bomb, we got him coming on there. We'll let him get into makeup a little bit. So, have you heard anything about Hutch, Logan, in your life? I know you're young, so.
I've heard a lot about it. Never had the opportunity to go to it. Kind of one of those deals. It's always been just like another Toma to me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only NTPA Grand National in Minnesota, and it's good. It's a good one, and you should come check it out. So it's 7:00 both nights, and the Colin Burkholtz has got a good joke for Whalen. I like that already. So hopefully they'll see more butts in the stands at the new location. Hey-o! Actually, that is good. We should make that T-shirt as well. That's my favorite saying, Logan. If somebody says something funny, I always say, let's make it a T-shirt.
Let's make it a T-shirt.
We would be. I already have too many T-shirts as it is. So.
Well, then it's your idea.
There you go. Well, Kenzie, bring on Whalen. I'm going to switch my video around. Or actually, I don't have a video for Mackville. I need to just grab your cool poster. Whalen, my man.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. Thank you for coming on tonight. We'll get you on again next week as well, or maybe get your dad on here as well. We weren't going to have Mackville. We're going to have Mackville. It moved locations. Your guys' life has to be basically upside down right now. Getting everybody.
Yeah, it's been a pretty hectic off season to say the least. But we're more than thrilled to announce that the Macville Nationals is going to be continuing on. We've been pulling at Mackville for over 49 years. We've been raising money for the St. Edward's Parish, and it's been a very fun run, and I'm very excited to say that it's going to be continuing on, so.
Yeah, I learned so much from your dad and Renee Grody and the guys. Whalen, you're just a little youngster, a little whippersnapper when I was helping with your guys' poll, but I learned a lot. It was great to be involved. It's more than just a truck and tractor pull for you guys. It's a legit, it's an event with all the different things that you do. There's a lot, and it takes a lot of extra work too. I totally get it. You know what I mean? But you guys pull it off, and it's been huge for your area. I don't know. I mean, Mackville's one of the biggest pulls in Wisconsin, and that's a lot to say with the Tomas, the Hillsboroughs, what other, Kenzie, what other ones am I missing for big, if I say big pulls in Wisconsin? Ellsworth. There's some, that's big to be thrown into that category, Whalen.
Yeah, we get 5,000 people for Friday and Saturday night, on average, but and four PPL classes and 3 Better State classes this year. So it's going to be a good show as always, and
yeah. So if for those of you that maybe didn't know why the poll got moved, the Diocese of Green Bay said they no longer wanted to hold it at the church grounds where they've had the poll for 48 years. And how far is this? It's the Seymour County Fairgrounds, right, Whalen?
That's right. Yeah, it's about 25 minutes away from Mackville, so.
Okay.
Not too far away,
is
but.
It northeast, west, or south of Mackville?
It'd be northeast.
Okay. So closer to Green Bay?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty close to Green Bay, which kind of makes this destination kind of neat. You know, it's more of a destination pull where, you know, these pullers can pull at night, and then maybe Friday during the day they can go to Lambeau Field and you know and visit Green Bay more, and Door County is kind of in that neck of the woods too. Lots of things to see up there too. You know, so.
Well, if Green Bay's not famous after the draft this year, Waylon, I don't know what else to say. There was 325,000 people there. Hopefully we can just get like 5% of that, 15,000 of them to come to the tractor pull, the June 12th, 13th, and 14th. So Thursday night, what do you get? Is Friday night and Saturday night the big night? That's your PPL Badger State nights, right?
That's right. Yep. Thursday night is, we call it the weekend opener. It's more like the local guys. We do have a few sanctioned classes, more of a hot farm based, and the Tri-County mini rides as well.
Okay.
And then a few open classes too.
Nice. So the Seymour Fairgrounds, do they have a fair pull? Is this place used to having a fairgrounds? What's the seating like? Talk us through that a little bit, Waylon.
Yeah, actually, they have weekly racing every Friday night, so they're set up for, you know, holding big crowds, and the facility is awesome. You know, as much as we love pulling at Mackville, you know, on the church grounds, and we've been doing it for so long, this is actually probably going to be an upgrade. You know, this facility is probably more meant for what we're doing compared to what the church did, you know, had to offer. And we have lots more room for parking and camping, and the grandstands is very nice. Nice bathrooms, and it just overall it's really going to upgrade our event, you know. So
nice. Well, I didn't realize. Because did you guys bring in a lot of the bleachers at Mackville, or are those kind of permanent bleachers there now, Waylon?
So we do own those bleachers, but we had to move them around every year, and at least for one side. So there was a lot of setup involved at Mackville. So I'm not saying this year is going to be that easy either, you know, being the first year at Seymour, but I think in the long run, it should be easier going for setup and stuff.
So how nervous is your old man about moving locations? Be honest with me. He's not on tonight. What's he saying these days, Waylon?
Well, you know, being the first year at a different location, I'd be lying if we weren't a little bit nervous about numbers of spectators, but we're also pretty confident that that we're going to get the crowd that we need, and but he's probably more excited than nervous. But
oh, good. That's good to hear. So are you going to pull on the racetrack, or are you guys building a track somewhere? What's the idea up there?
Yeah, so they do have a county fair tractor pull every year, so there is a pulling track there, and it is not on the stock car track. It's more on the center of the oval, so it will be flat. You know, we won't be pulling up on a bank or anything like that.
Okay, cool. That is.
And how's the track shaping up for these guys?
Yeah, the track should be good. It's a nice clay-based track. It's going to probably take a couple years for us to really get to know it, you know. But I'm very confident that we'll build a good track for this year.
What time are you? So you said there's weekly races out there now for the circle track, or what? What do they have?
Yep. Every Friday night, IMCA sanctioned. Yep.
I would think with the reputation that Mackville has, and the fact that you're moving to a bigger, so in theory, this is a bigger grounds, more seating, a lot more potential. Waylon, is what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah. At Mackville, you know, we were thinking about maybe adding more seating, and when you add more seating, you almost need more parking, right? and our parking was getting really close on room, and we didn't really have much more room to grow at Mackville. And so now with all this extra space and nicer facilities, it kind of opens up the opportunities and new ideas about growing this event.
Awesome.
So
what are the Champions Tour classes you're having with PPL?
we got heavy super stocks, light pro stocks, silver series, super farm championship series, and we also have the pro modified four-wheel drive trucks as well.
Okay. And then let's see. Looks like light limited supers for Badger State, right?
Yep.
Pro stock diesel trucks
and then
two wheelers.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
That's gonna be a heck of a show, Waylon.
Yeah, that is going to be a heck of a show. And 3 nights, too, just packed full of polling.
Yeah, it should be good.
So is the parish still involved with this, Waylon? Behind the scenes, like all the same volunteers, same kind of setup?
It is. Yes, it's still St. Edward's based run. We did have to get our own business front name to kind of separate it from the church as far as liability goes.
Yep. No, I understand that.
But,
hey, who are some of the bigger sponsors or the people that really make it happen for you guys?
well, as you can see on the poster, all of those names below. I really don't want to list them because I'll miss them, But
Well, here, I'll read them off to you, and then you just tell me if I butcher one of the names, okay? DeNoble Water and Sewer.
Sure.
Baum
Yep.
Machine.
Yep.
Have you heard of Baum Machine before, Waylon?
Yeah. I've heard of that.
We got North Iser Grain Company, Bush Light, Brinks Exteriors, Wires, Garrow Oil and Propane. They've been supporting you guys for a long time. That's a name I remember. Turix Plumbing Services, Larry Van Handel and Sons Livestock. I remember reading that name when I announced up there in the past. PNC Sanitation, JK Trenching, Colossal Toyota, JJ and McGee and Dumpsters, Nightlife Tents and Events, Integrity Sales and Auctions, AP Plumbing, Bob's Towing, Trico Excavating. I remember that name. Kenzie, what's that say? MCC?
Yeah, I can't read that.
I can't read that one, sorry. And then Barrel Engines? Barrel Engine?
Yep.
Brockman's Roofing and Siding, the Exercise Coach. Now the Exercise Coach. I don't know what an exercise coach is. Wait, I eat pizza. I stopped at Quick Trip on the way out tonight. I was hangry. TMIS Auto. I think that is. Sorry, guys. Metal Storm. Metal Fabricating. Kavanaugh Excavating and Trucking. JMW Transfer. VP Racing. That's Valley Petroleum. Yep. Hain Meat Packaging. I remember that name from the past. Waylon. Legacy Landworks. Rosca Meats. Ken's Power Sports. I remember them out of Kakana. Hooker's Bar and Grill on the Wolf. And Logan, fun fact. Mackville, one side of the church is a Catholic church. The other side of the street is there's a titty bar there. Logan, I'm just going to come out and say it. Is that still there, Waylon?
It is. Yep.
And what's it called again?
Bean Snappers.
You've never been there. I know you've never been there, but what's it called, Waylon, again?
Bean Snappers.
Bean Snappers. So, Logan, I know you're only 17, but we can still talk about this, right? Because it's a podcast.
And in the middle, you meet and you get a tractor pull.
It's really kind of legit. It's really kind of legit. I met Larry Kester up there back in the day. That's the first time I met Stan Shelton. So, do you guys still do a lot of promotion with Fox, the TV network, Waylon?
Yeah, yep. Fox 11 is our local news channel.
Yeah, they would come down and interview some pullers, Logan, in the morning. And Stan Shelton was on one year, and my job was to kind of get the pullers to the Fox 11 stuff. And that's the first time I met Larry Kester, and we all love Larry and miss him. And obviously Stan Shelton's kind of a big deal in pro mod drag racing now as well. They got pro stocks and minis, and who else knows, right? So
yeah,
it's all good. But
let's talk some the behind the scenes stuff. I mean, what's it take to move an event that's been in one place for 48 years and just pick it up and completely move it?
Well, physically, that hasn't really started yet. But I can say that the paperwork, starting your own business front and liabilities and insurances, and yeah, that's been a lot. It's been a lot of work this off season here, and but it's all worth it though, and so
yeah. So with it all, you look at the whole event and you're saying that it's better set up for the fans, promoters, and pullers all around being at a county fairground instead of a Catholic church. I see you guys got your tickets posted there for each of the nights. And what does that include for terms of entertainment? Is there pit passes included with that? Is it open pits? Tell me about some of that.
Yeah, it is open pits. You only have to pay to actually get into the poll. So you can come to the event if you want to buy a burger and a beer and walk around the pits. So that's all free besides purchasing the beer or the burger, of course. But but yeah, we're very open grounds, free parking. So yeah. And the free bands, no cover charge. There is live music Friday and Saturday night after the poll.
So,
go ahead, Luke.
I assume it takes a grand group of people to put this on. Are all your guys volunteers helping you out, or how's all this going together?
Yep, everyone is a volunteer. No one's paid. And yeah, we really do have a great crew. And it was so tough to think of the thought of not having this event, because we have such of a great crew that cares a lot about this event. They have lots of passion, and we were just getting going, and it was really tough to think about not having this event anymore, and so.
No, Waylon, there was a lot of people that were like, I can't imagine not having the Macville Nationals. So I'm glad you guys figured it out. And kudos to your dad and everybody. I got to see him down at the Pullers Championship. Thank you for your guys' sponsorship of our event as well down there. We can't thank you guys enough. And I saw your dad down there with 4 or 5 guys. I recognize a couple of their faces, but your dad's the one who always sticks in my mind a lot. Does so much for the event. So when's your guys' light pro stock going to be done?
Yeah, it's in the works.
All right.
A lot of waiting on parts. Building a tractor from scratch these days seems to really take a long time. I can't really put a date yet.
That's okay. I was just curious. I'm excited to see you guys at that level. I mean, you do very well with all your farm stock and your altered farm and your hot farm tractors, but I'm excited to see you and your dad on a light pro, because that is one of the most fun classes to watch in pulling. So.
Yeah.
Is it going to be blue, Waylon?
It will be blue.
I figured. If you don't know the Baum family, they have more blue tractors than the Smurfs have Smurfs, and I'm not joking. If you don't believe me, swing by the farm. Swing by the farm. It's pretty sweet. So, Waylon, thanks for coming on today. I didn't give any of our guests much notice today, other than 3 or 4 hours. It's legit. We joke about Hell Week all the time in pulling, right, Waylon? Like there's that 2 weeks in late July. Yarn, shake your head. Is it late July, 1st of August? Everybody called it, Yarn saying Hell Week. I feel like that started today for us. At Full Pull and Beer Money and the Outlaws, we're like, ah! We have 7 streams in 2 days this weekend, Waylon.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We love our job. So, Waylon Baum, everybody, one of the promoters of the Macville Nationals, moving to the Seymour Fairgrounds June 12th through the 14th. Again, Thursday night's kind of the opener, Waylon said, with just more local classes, regional, more, brush pull. I'm going to say it. What the hell? Brush pull type classes. And then Friday night and Saturday night is your big Champions Tour PPL, unlimited super stocks, 4-wheel drive trucks, super farm, and then light pro from the Silver Series, which is the highest level of light pro tractor there is. the UC National tractors from all over the country competing at that level, and then some great Badger State classes too. So excited for you guys, Waylon. Thank you to you and your dad and the whole team for figuring it out. And we wish you nothing but great success, and we'll get you guys back on next Monday, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Waylon. Appreciate you, buddy. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. We are flowing through the promoters tonight. Kenzie started out with Mason Elsing.
Mm-hmm.
We did a weekend recap of the Spring Fling in Prairie du Sac. Brent Yarn, our next guest, was there. And then they had a great event. They said they ran out of hamburgers.
They did.
Do you think that people get hangry?
Yeah, they do.
Then we had Kyle and Ron and Tim on from the Outlaws, talked about Ravenna, Nebraska season opener. Kenzie will be out there with Full Pull Live this weekend, June 6th and 7th. Then we had Kyle Matcham come on from West Salem, Ohio, Dragway 42. Logan, you've been to that event. And then Julie ghosted me tonight, but that's okay. She's kind of busy, and she hates getting on the computer anyway, but she's super sweet. Julie Rose, the Power Pole Nationals, the only Grand National in the state of Minnesota, this Friday night and Saturday night. Then we just talked to, we moved east a little bit, talked to Waylon Baum there, one of the promoters of the Macville Nationals. They moved from the church grounds out to Seymour, and I didn't realize that they have races there and stuff like that, Logan. I'm excited for them to move to a bigger venue. Now we're going to bring on Brent Yarn, a friend of ours, does 90% of what happens at the Pullers Championships, and we just wrapped that up. I don't think I've really talked to him much since then, because we talk every single day for like a month straight, and then we get sick of each other, and then we bring him back on. But Brent is running our live stream, WTPA, Wisconsin Tractor Pulling Association, state level of the NTPA, and this is Brent's home base. Brent fell in love with truck and tractor pulling with WTPA, will do about anything for the WTPA, and WTPA is our first state partner with Full Pull Live, and we're going to open up this weekend Friday night with Stanley, Wisconsin, which I believe was last year's Pull of the Year. I'll let Yarn comment on that for WTPA, and then Ellsworth, Wisconsin, the Cheese Curd National. What is it? Curdtown Nationals.
Showdown in
Curdtown. There it is. My bad. Awesome pull with some Region 3 classes as well as some WTPA classes. So without further ado, what do you want to do, Kenzie? Do you want to bring Yarn on? Let's bring Brent on. Brent, what's going on, buddy? You're muted.
No, we can't hear you.
You're muted. Push the button.
Let's try that.
There he is, Brent Yarn.
Yep, another day, just being busy.
Are you rested up from the Pullers Championship?
For the most part, yeah.
Nice. Are you ready to kick this thing in gear and light the fires and kick the tires or whatever the saying is?
Kind of.
Kind of? Okay.
I still have a lot of stuff to get done before the weekend, so.
At least he's honest. I appreciate that. Again, Stanley, Wisconsin, Friday, June 6th. Ellsworth, Wisconsin, Saturday, June 7th. Man, Brent, there's so much freaking pulling this weekend. It's insane.
Yeah, it's, I always said, Memorial Weekend kick things off, but it seems like a lot there. What hasn't been really a ton in the last couple of weeks.
Right.
And this seems to be like the true kickoff to pulling in my book. There's just so much going on this coming weekend.
Well, when I started scheduling out the podcast, and I was like, "Holy crap! I actually gotta stay on schedule for once." So we get, Logan's doing a good job, Brent, of looking out the clock, saying, "All right, we got about a minute left." So I'm proud of them. So, but Yarn, we can go as long as we need to, buddy, because Massetti and Friends is on their own thing now, so we can rock and roll. Excited to have WTPA partner up with Full Pull Live. Very excited to work with you. It's going to be a great extension. Excited. What live streaming is doing is it's exposing WTPA to the frickin' world. Let's be honest. And what the Outlaws are doing it as well. It's exciting to do that as well. The Outlaws was already an existing stream. They merged together with Full Pull Live. Kenzie does an awesome job of running that. We're excited for her. But for us, Brent, at Full Pull, this weekend we're gonna have 7 live streams in 2 nights. And
that's awesome.
It's kind of crazy. And you guys, live TV it's hard on the soul. It is hard on your soul. It's hard on your hair, your stress levels, all of it. And when something goes wrong on a stream, it's not normally your fault, honestly, but it is the most stressful thing in the world because you know you're letting people down. So, but we continue to learn every week and just get better and better, and we're excited. Brent, you did Ridgeland for us last year, kind of as a test, and nobody died, and you signed up. But Brent Yarn can handle stress better than I can. I think.
Yes, way better.
I don't know about that. I just, I just, for the most part, just kind of don't really care what people have to say. So
that's a great thing to have in the live stream business, Brent. Yeah.
until they walk in your shoes and realize, yeah, like you said, the stress and what it takes to actually do something. A lot of people just talk like they know what they're talking about, and they just don't know. So, we're looking forward to it, though. Definitely Ridgeland opened up, the opportunities to be able to do this for the entire year. Can't do all the events because, as right now, I'm the only one that's going to be able to do it. Can't make all the events, so. But yeah, looking forward to it. There's a lot of people, a lot of pullers, and fans that had been asking about whether we would ever do live streaming, and for us, just financially, it's a lot to start up and actually do it, and being able to partner with Full Pull Live to have a platform to be able to live stream too, and essentially, I mean, we were already at that point. We just didn't have the infrastructure to do the live stream because we have a video board that essentially we do like a live stream production to it. We just had to stream it out to the internet now. So that's kind of what we're doing. I'm going to step it up a little bit. Hopefully everything will work this weekend. Try to get all the announcer audio in, have a second camera.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. So there's probably going to be some issues. Ellsworth, as right now, I don't know if I have help for Ellsworth. So it's going to be a one-man show for 2 tracks for me to do that entire event, as well as do live results. So I'll try to do my best. But it sounds like I potentially have somebody that's going to be helping me throughout the summer at most events. So that'll be nice to have. And one of my buddies as well is going to make some of the events. So we'll definitely have the people to try to make a good live stream. And yeah, I'm just, like I said, looking forward to it. I know a lot of the board members are excited to see where this can go. They're excited that, our events are getting more promotion, our sponsors are getting more promotion and more exposure. Hopefully be able to sell more sponsorship because of that. So definitely a good opportunity, and it adds a little bit more to my plate, not much, but it's definitely worth it in my opinion, and see how it all goes this weekend.
Yeah, I'm proud of the extra promotion that we bring a promoter, Brent. You clearly saw it in the stands that last Saturday night in Prairie du Sac. We had Mason Nelson on at the beginning of the podcast tonight. He had bad internet, but he said it was full like it used to be. Now, granted, the weather was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And that weekend's tough. I wasn't even there, and I don't think I've missed hardly any full pool live streams. When your daughter graduates from high school and you want to stay married and continue to be a father, you go to the graduation party and and have a good time there. But I know you were over there snapping some pictures as well.
Yep.
We had our team over there, Doug and Hope and Chandler and Kenzie over there running the live stream, and it was fun. It was great to watch it. I flipped it on. Tony McDonald won the 4.1 Limited Pros. Brent used to work on my Limited Pro, so I was excited for him to see him. And he chased her down to the bitter end last year, but John Coots was able to sneak him out there. But let's not talk about last weekend with you on here. Let's jump into this weekend. Stanley been going on a while. I kind of feel like Stanley maybe it used to be.
Stanley's
like
been going on for a very long time.
Grew, right?
It's always been a truck pull.
Okay.
That's where it started out as. So 21st annual. It started out as a truck pull, and then it kind of worked its way into, I believe, a mid-state pull. And then, there's a couple of our competitors that are from the Stanley area, Paul Cluck and Austin Symbol, and they were kind of, the ones that were involved in bringing in the WTPA. They moved to a Friday night, always was Saturday on the same day as Ellsworth, and so obviously they had to move to a Friday night. Last year had a phenomenal crowd, great turnout for pullers, and heard you mention, but they were voted the state poll of the year. So we actually kick off. They were the state poll of the year, and then the region poll of the year was Ellsworth. So back-to-back events. So this weekend, we come out swinging with two of the better events on the schedule, and that's voted on by the pollers. So definitely looking forward to it. Stanley switched things up a little bit. They did drop light pros, but they added super farms and pro farms this year. Our pro farm class, I mean, those numbers could be stupid this year. I'm hearing 6 to 7 new pro farms for members this year, on top of some of the Minnesota guys that'll come over. So it's going to be a good show. We're going to be north of 50 hooks. I'd say easy. I think we already have 20 some pre-registered. So that's something that we started last year. We did it for all of our region events to kind of speed up the registration process. 2 years ago in Ellsworth, fortunately, it got rained out, but we were still signing up pullers at start time of Ellsworth, but we had already rained out, and we were still registering pullers for the next day because they do have a rain date for Sunday. So we had to do something different, and we did pre-registration last year, and it sped things up so much. We had great feedback, and it's not mandatory, but it's definitely an option for the pullers, and like I said, definitely alleviate some of those long lines and long wait times of just sitting there just waiting. So especially when there's some inclement weather, around, and you don't want to sit out in the rain. So, but yeah, Stanley, like I said, is the state pull of the year. 7 classes, and definitely looking forward to it. And some of our competitors have already been out, but a lot of them is going to be the first time out for the season, and start the points battle right at one of the better. Honestly, it's a great track. It's they actually had to extend it. They put some more dirt down there last year just to have enough for some runoff area. But yeah, it's a great event. And then we move on to Ellsworth on Saturday. I don't think I really need to do much introduction on that one. It's been a multi-time regional national poll of the year with NTPA as well as the WTPA region poll of the year. 12 total classes. It sounds like there's going to be some UPM Pro Stock semis coming as well. So they aren't like the full Super Stock semis. They run a 4.5 turbocharger. They have like 5 or 6 of those guys that are running over in Minnesota now. So it sounds like a couple of them will be coming over, but it's all the WTPA classes are there, whether it's a region event or like region points or state points. In Wisconsin, if it's a region class, it's also state points. And then they also have the heavy supers there as well. So loaded class, I mean, I'm sure we're going to be north of 100 hooks there pretty easily. I think last year we had 109. Some of our classes are just continuing to grow. Some competitors that haven't been out in the last couple of years are coming back out again this year, so definitely looking forward to seeing some of those names or faces back in the seat, and looking forward to it. So
I feel like in the last 5 years, your pro farm class has gone from nothing to wow.
Yep. So this is our 3rd year of a points class.
Okay.
So there's a couple events. I know Lancaster has been one since 2021. Baroquewood did it one year when they had an event. River Falls, they've always had an invitational class or like exhibition class, and they'd always get 5 or 6 of them, and they were starting to try to campaign for the class. And so in 2022 we had just like a trial year where there was like 3 or 4 events. We were getting 6, 8, 10 tractors, and so we decided to add them. And I think the first year we had 7 or 8 tractors actually run for points, and this year I think we're going to be 15 plus. So nice. And that's in 3 years.
Yeah, and the state, like I compare like the Badger State Pro Stock class. Brent could go run and compete. The top 5 pros compete, anybody in the country. I feel like your mini rods that run WTPA can go run anywhere, and they proved at the Pullers Championship.
I mean, they proved it for the last number of years. I mean, Nathan Hoffman's won Toma, Goozes have won Toma, Chris Burnett's won. I mean, they've won between Rockwell, Hutch, Hillsboro, Toma, going out to the Enderley. I mean, they're a great group of guys, and they're top-notch tractors, and that's going to be a fun class this year. Last year we picked up a couple new ones. Mike Evans was running with us some. Timmermans are back into the mini rod class.
I saw Timmermans out last weekend down there at
the disaster
Sparky's
team.
Yep.
Brandon Lofgren, they built a new tractor for him last year.
Is that the Gravy Train one?
Yep. And then Jake Bruin, that's relation of the Picklers. I believe that tractor is going to be called F5, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that pretty maroon one? Like,
so that's a new one that Bryce and Jake
Okay.
Put together, and so that one will be campaigning this year as well. So I think we're gonna have 10 tractors, signed up for points. Goozes are still gonna run Grand National, so they'll make the events that they're able to. But sounds like there's potentially one more coming next year as well. So definitely a good class, and it came from 2 years ago, I think, or 3 years ago, we were down to 4 tractors in the class, and to see those numbers back up in the double digits it's awesome. So it's one of my favorite classes, and they're a great group to be around too. So
yeah, that's huge for a state level to have 10 tractors week in and week out.
Yeah, I it's kind of cool that we're the only state association. I know like USA East Full Pro Productions, they have a class, but they run multiple states. So does Region 2, and we have Region 3, which is just pretty much all state tractors anyways. But now OSTPA has a class, so technically now there's 2, but they have a state level class. Same with like light supers, another class that's a high level horsepower class. Being able to have a state level class for them, it's fun. It definitely adds to a show. And there's promoters that they don't care if there's only 4 or 5 of them that show up. They can make up those numbers with some of our other classes that we have, 12 plus, and light limited supers, 2.6 Pro Street diesel trucks. They're fine with paying that a little bit more just to have those big horsepower classes there as well. So
well, and for a promoter, the mini rod sell is tough, Brent, because it's not just the purse; it's the extra sled too that you bring in.
Yep.
Just for that one particular class. I'd like to explain that.
That was actually the thing. The class itself was paying for half the sled, I believe, or majority of the sled for a number of years, just because they couldn't get hooks otherwise. So that sounds like that's changed. WTPA also upped the purse for this year as well. So that's the first time it's moved in a number of years. We decided it was finally, it needed to happen. So that was voted on this last December. And we're just trying to continue to keep things growing. There's a lot of people, involved that are trying to make it, take it to the next level. And like I said, I think this is year number 5 with the video board. That was a big step. Now live streaming and just having people involved that are definitely looking forward to having the association continue to grow. And this year we have a new president, Derek Howard. He's my age, and he's bleeds truck and tractor pulling just like all of us. So
yeah, in fact, he's working on a pulling truck right now. That's why he's not on tonight.
That is correct. So and he's back out. His truck's going to be back out he wasn't out last year. He broke halfway through 2023, and so he's going to be back out this year and made a lot of changes to the truck. He's he's a Duramax competing against those Cummins, and so he's definitely busy. And now he's even more busy being a president of one of the larger state associations in the country. So, but yeah, definitely looking forward to working with him some more. Like I said, I think there's nothing but good positive growth within our association. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what this year brings, and can't believe it's already here.
I know it's kind of hard to believe, Brent. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie. And fans, if you're wondering what events are going to be live streamed from WTPA, I'd say 90% of them. There's a few that Brent can't attend. Yep. Just go to upcoming events on fullpull.live and you can see.
And I can't say for sure like that it won't be live streamed. Like I said, if I had this person that he's going to be at Stanley with me, he just has a graduation he's got to go to on Saturday, but it sounds like he's going to be interested in potentially running the video board for us as well, and for when I can't be there, and then helping with the live stream. So there's a chance that we get to like down the road, and we potentially could be able to live stream those events. I just won't know until see how well he's able to figure things out, and kind of go from there. So, but yeah, it's I think there's 10 events I think as right now on the live stream schedule for WTPA this year.
Well, it's exciting. We're excited to do it, and it's been fun, seeing the WTPA events out more all over social. And it's been fun to see that. And it's a great club, and I've been to many WTPA events, and I live in Wisconsin, so it's easy to love.
We just, and we have a lot of interest in events too. Sounds like potentially 2 or 3 new events next year already. And there's another event that's just waiting for, if a spot opens up on a weekend, they want one of those, like the Friday or the Saturday. So, and there's a lot of interest. And like I said, it seems like it really started a few years ago, adding some of these other classes that really help bring numbers to the event. And, the Pro Farm class, the Super Stock 4-wheel drive trucks, light limited supers, they definitely just, 2.6 trucks. I don't know if I just said that or not. It just keeps adding more and more to our show. And those are the numbers that continue to grow, and we get more pullers, and then they just start working up from there. But we still have good numbers, like our Super Farm class. We're probably going to have our biggest Super Farm numbers in a decade, if I had to guess. I'm thinking that we're going to probably have close to 12 points tractors in that class. And like I said, in that one, we have a couple new vehicles that signed up for points this year. Another tractor that's coming back out. Light Pro numbers, even there's a lot of guys changing the components now. So Even with that, should still have some pretty good numbers there. Limited pro stocks. There's a couple new tractors in the area as well. Northern Wisconsin, I should say. And so those should be back out. And yeah, the numbers this year, has me excited to see what our events are going to be like this year. Because I think more than in years past, I've been involved in WTPA now. I think this is year number 6. This feels like this is the most number of competitors that we've had signed up at this point in the year. And just looking at like pre-registration numbers, I think we're going to have some good numbers throughout the entire season. So, as long as everybody keeps showing up to these events, I mean, our events usually always have great crowds, and let's just hope for some great weather, and it's going to be fun.
Have you looked at the forecast this weekend yet? I have not. So
no.
Okay.
At this point, I don't really care.
At least that's what's great about Yarn. He'll tell you exactly how he feels.
Yeah. I'm going to show up either way until somebody tells me I don't need to be there. So.
Okay. Fair enough. Like a good soldier, that Yarn guy, like a good soldier. Yep. Again, Stanley, Wisconsin this Friday night. Ellsworth, Wisconsin Saturday night. Kicking off the WTPA season. If you can't be there, it's always better to be there. Listen to me. Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, you care about live streams. No, all I care about is growing the sport, and this is another vehicle to grow the sport, to get more eyeballs on it. It's always better to be there, but we realize that not everybody can be there.
We have a lot of great events, some unique ones. Obviously, my favorite, just because the uniqueness of it, is Ridgeland. That ends our year for 2025. It's a great event. We get to a couple fairs. A new one on our schedule this year that we haven't been to in 12 years, probably, is Langley County Fair in Anago. So we're going back there. We got the Dunn County Fair in Menominee. It's always it's a 2-track. It's packed crowds there every year. And trying to think, we have another new event, a couple new events on the schedule. I just blanking on them right now on the top of my head. But yeah, it's just gonna be a great year, and definitely looking for the Kenosha County Fair in Wilmot, Wisconsin.
Oh wow!
So we're getting furthest we've been south, I think. I don't know how long it's been since we've been that far south. But definitely that one's over Bowling Green weekend, so unfortunately I can't make it. But I think that one should be a great event as well. It's in a highly populated area.
Yeah.
The races that they have at Wilmot Raceway are usually just crowded and full of people. So definitely looking forward to that. And it's in an area where there's a few of the competitors. I believe they have light pros there, so it's close to a couple of those guys that are down there. I believe the Cartwrights aren't very far from them, and
yep, they're not.
Some of those PI Super Farm pullers down there should be able to make it, so that should be a good event as well. So
I have a couple questions from you, Brent. I've never asked you before. What's your favorite fair food?
Oh, it's a good question.
Or is there a certain event, maybe not a fair, like that such and such has good pork chops, or the best corn on the cob, or the best cheese curds, or?
Usually I forget to eat at most events because I'm too busy.
Yep. He's honest.
Relatable.
Yep.
For WT, I would have to go with just Ellsworth cheese curds.
Yep. It is the showdown in Curtown.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
They're phenomenal. You can't beat Ellsworth cheese curds.
So
whether deep fried or fresh.
So Doug, is from Ellsworth, right?
Yep.
And Kenzie used to work at Car Valley Cheese before she came to work for the Beer Money Pulling Team. So we had curd wars the first couple of years. Are you still Car Valley? Go Car Valley?
Honestly, I don't know if I could eat a fresh cheese curd right now because I can see all them being made and it just makes me not want to eat them. But I will eat them, just not willingly.
No, okay, not willing. So you have to hold you down and force feed you cheese curds?
Not force feed me, just I have to not think about how they're made.
Logan, you're from Kansas. Do you know what a cheese curd is, bud?
There is only one place that I know of off the top of my head out here in Kansas that sells cheese curds, and that's out in Alma, Kansas, out in the middle of nowhere.
Are they fresh or are they refrigerated?
I could not tell you.
Okay, well, yeah, because fresh cheese curds, people, are a day old. Like they come out of the vat before they press them into the blocks, and they put them in a bag. And it's just like a chips Frito-Lay or whatever. You can't just have one.
Yeah.
They are delicioso.
And then you get the ones that are different flavors, and now you open up a whole different can of worms there.
Ellsworth does a bunch of great flavored curd.
Oh,
they
yeah.
really do. They really do. All right, that's just my computer dying. Don't worry. It's just we lost our logo behind us.
But now you can see the pizza.
Now we can see the pizza. I did grab some Quick Trip on the way up, Yarn. I was hangry, so I tried behaving today, and it wasn't the day to behave, so I had some pizza. If you could ever drive a pulling vehicle, like is there a certain class that you love? Like a couple classes that you really love?
My favorite's the watch. I like light supers and minis. Those are probably two of my favorite ones. I think just
So you're a horsepower to weight ratio guy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say probably just because they do get a little bit,
squirrely.
Yeah, they're unpredictable. I don't know.
Wrong one, bud.
I would say mini rod would probably be my. If I had to get into a class, it'd probably be mini rods, just because I'm more of an automotive person. I don't know the diesel side very much, so that's probably which way I would lean.
What else do I want to ask Brent tonight? I think those are the two I wrote down on my piece of paper.
Yes, and you said 2 questions.
Okay, so I'm good. Yarn, I'm gonna leave you alone, buddy. So, thanks for coming on tonight. We appreciate you. Good luck this weekend in Stanley and Ellsworth, and then we'll be on our way, our merry little way. So.
Yep, definitely looking forward to it. And if anybody has any questions on WTPA, schedule, results, anything like that, I'm usually the one that takes care of it. So just get a hold of me, message the Facebook page. Otherwise, we hope to see you at as many events as possible.
Awesome. Thanks, Brent. Have a good night, bud.
Yep. Thank you, Brent.
Okay. All right. What a show. What a podcast.
What a show.
High five. Logan, virtual high five. Give me a virtual high. Bang. All right. Perfect. We're in full promotion mode now. We work with a lot of promoters throughout the country to promote their events. Again, I want to recap our podcast. I'll let Logan wrap it up. Kenzie's always got a ton to say. That was sarcasm. But Mike will be back, and he does have a lot to say next week. And he'll be in Farley. So he's going to be in Ravenna, then Farley. So he is going to be a chatterbox. But shout out to the Sauk Prairie FFA. They had an awesome pull this past weekend over there in Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin, to kick off the Badger State season. Ravenna, Nebraska starts the Outlaw season this Friday, June 6th and June 7th. We had Kyle, Ron, and Tim on tonight. Tim's the promoter of Ravenna. Kyle and Ron, obviously, with the Outlaws. Dragway 42, the second and third hooks for OSTPA this year at Dragway 42. Kyle Matchman, the promoter, came on tonight. Julie Rose ghosted me. I don't think she's mad at me. I just think she's busy. But the only Grand National hook in the state of Minnesota is this weekend. 7 o'clock Central, Friday night, June 6th and 7th. If you can't be there, fullpull.live as you covered. And now we talked to Waylon Baum from Mackville, Wisconsin. 49 years. They had to move it due to some insurance reasons with the Diocese of Green Bay. And they're moving to the Seymour Fairgrounds. And it sounds like that's going to be a positive thing. Once people find the new location, and they advertise the crap out of that. They'll be fine, okay? They'll be fine. And then you be quiet, Mark Fisher. She can't say much when you're in the room. She won't say much. Okay, I'll just mute myself, Kenzie. Logan, I'll just sit here and just let you talk.
Go get him, Logan.
Go get him. And then we just finished up with Brent Yarn. Excited to announce our partnership with the Outlaws this year and WTPA. And our screen just froze.
I like that just froze.
Jason is quiet now.
All right, Logan. Wrap it up, buddy.
All righty. Well, that was a heck of a show here tonight. We brought on a whole bunch of guys, and we'll see you right back 7:30 next Monday, bringing another full show for you. Have a great night, y'all.
Today. Let's talk about today. Ravenna National state level, you have to run non-sales, wholesale.
Is like 9,000.
The only mistake I made, I didn't put it right in the registration booth with the car. just this ever-evolving story.